Dex made his way to the bathroom nearest the bunkhouse, about an hour after lights out. The message someone had left under his pillow was pretty clear, but Dex still wasn't sure that he understood it. Come to the South Hall boys' bathroom an hour after lights out. Dex hadn't been familiar with the handwriting. He knew Dunstan's handwriting. He remembered Masha's neat little script. But this handwriting had been a mystery. He guessed it might be a girl, maybe even Rebecca, but it was mostly an intuition. He supposed it would be good to see people who actually wanted his company. He had gone to bed extremely hurt, and maybe this would help him take his mind off what it was beginning to feel like a betrayal. About an hour before bedtime, Dex had called out to Ryan as he and his new friends headed for the game room. Ryan had stopped, looked back at him excitedly, and when Dex didn't follow them, Dick had said that they'd wait for him, and the three other red bands went in and left Ryan and Dex alone in the hallway. "What's up?" Ryan asked, as he raised his hand to give Dex a high five. Dex didn't return the gesture. He just looked at Ryan questioningly as he folded his arms against his chest. What's wrong with you?" Ryan asked, clearly not sure what was going on. "What's wrong with me? What's wrong with you? You were just gonna buddy up with these guys who made your life a living hell only a couple of days ago?" Ryan laughed it off as if Dex were being silly. "Oh, that. Dick said he was just razzing me. He said that's what friends do. They mess with each other. They said if you wanted to come hang out with us, you'd be more than welcome to." "Awful generous of them, especially considering they hated our guts 2 days ago. Why would I come hang out with people who don't even like me? Not until they know what I can do, at least." Ryan had gotten an obstinate look about him, and he put his hands on his hips. "It isn't like that. Dick says they just wanted to make sure that I was tough enough to hang out with them. They aren't like what we thought. They just don't want to hang out with little shrimps. You can understand that. You're a big guy. I bet people want to hang out with you all the time because you're bigger than they are." "No," Dex said. "Most of the time when people want to hang out with me, it's because they want to be my friend. Most of the time when people spend months treating me like crap, I don't just turn around and go hang out with them when they start being nice to me. People like that will drop you in a heartbeat. I didn't need to go to foster care to tell you that. He's playing a game, and when you're no longer useful to his game, or you become an obstacle, he'll drop you again if he doesn't steamroll you first." Ryan had scrunched up his face and given Dex a look like he might be the stupidest person he had ever seen. "You think I don't know that? You think I don't know that people are using me? You think I haven't spent most of my time being used by other people? I'm not an idiot, Dexter, but right now, my power has them scared. They're afraid of me. That's how I like it. Now that they know that I can make people's heads explode, they don't want to mess with me. I'd thought that maybe, once there was peace between both groups, you might decide you'd want to hang out too. I see now that that was my mistake. So I guess you can go back to your other friends. I don't really need your protection anymore." He started to walk away, but Dex froze him with a word. "I see." Ryan turned back around and jeered at him. "Do you? I see that it was all bullshit. I see that you were never really my friend, especially when I protected you from your so-called friends. I don't need friends like that, Ryan. I've had enough people who just want to use me for my size, and I'm not in a big hurry to find another one. I thought better of you, thought you were different, but I see now that you're just like they are. You only hang around until something better comes along." Ryan turned slowly, and it took every ounce of Dex's control not to move as a small pressure formed right in the middle of his forehead. It wasn't a lot, a little more than a migraine headache, but Dex knew that with a little bit of a push. He'd have blood coming out of his nose and ears, too. Ryan was doing that. Doing it on purpose. And it told Dexter everything he needed to know. Careful, Dex, or you might get to see my powers up close and personal, like that Black Band kid got to see. Sounds like you're pretty proud of that. You proud that you killed someone? Does it make you feel like a big man, that you exploded his brain inside his skull? Does it make you feel good, knowing that he'll never get to go back to his parents again? Because if it does, then I'd say you're in good company with those guys. They're all too cowardly to actually kill anybody. But they're the kind of guys who would brag to people all the same. They're just like the cops that used to come around the area where me and my gang lived. They don't give a shit about anybody. But they're more than happy to kick you in the ribs, throw you against the wall, or maybe take your money and not put it into evidence. They're dirty. If you stick around with them long enough, you get to be dirty too. I thought better of you, Ryan. I respected you. And I like to think that you respected me. But I see I was mistaken. Ryan stared at him for a moment, and then turned to go as he threw one last barb over his shoulder. Yeah, I guess maybe you were. Dex stood in the hallway for a long time and stared at the door. It was hard to convince himself that he wasn't crying, and sometimes he almost believed it. But he still felt the tears on his cheek as he wiped them away and headed for the bunk room. As Dex lay down on his bed, listening to the kids as they got ready for bedtime, he realized this was the lowest he had ever felt. Masha was already asleep. Dunstan wasn't in his rack, and Rebecca and Gerald were essentially strangers. Dex felt like he had no one to talk to about this, and that made him feel even lower. He had rolled over to get comfy, deciding that maybe turning in early wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, and that was when he found the note. Now, he thought, as he pushed open the bathroom door, he was meeting someone in the restroom after getting a sketchy note under his pillow. Today just kept getting weirder. Rebecca was already there. So was Dunstan. And Dex was just about to ask why they had invited him to the toilet when Masha and Gerald walked in as well. Good, Rebecca said. You all came. I thought it best that it's just us. The others likely won't come back. Figured that out during dinner. We need to talk, and it's kind of important. The three recent arrivals looked around as if to ask what they needed to talk about, but Rebecca's opening gambit left them speechless. We need to get the hell out of here before things go any further. There's something going on here that all of you should know, something Dunstan and I recently discovered. And what might that be? Dex asked, flipping the lock in place as they all gathered around. Rebecca looked nervous but resolved. Dunstan looked like he might be sick. Whatever reason we think we're here for, we're wrong. We aren't soldiers in some glorious army. We're the Soylent Green that's going into the masses. What are you talking about? Asked Gerald. We're here to serve, all right, but it's more like being served. We're here until we're ripe. We're here until we're at our most juiciest. Guys, we're dinner.
Good evening, everyone. It's me, Dr. Plague. Thank you so much for joining us for tonight's show. If you think you might like a little more spooky in your life, then please feel free to click on one of the videos we have up here. Maybe look at one of the playlists if you're trying to get caught up. I know, there's so many videos on the channel. There's so many series that are going at the same time. Sometimes you just need a little refresher course, and I gotta say, I always enjoy the views. If you're not subscribed, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Maybe hit the bell so you don't miss anything. We upload a lot on this channel, so you won't want to miss a single story as they come out. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click on the Amazon link down there. There's quite a few books in my Amazon account. You can have a look, and if you'd like a signed copy, get up with me through email, and I'll be happy to work something out with you. Also, there's links to my Patreon, and you can become a member on the channel if you'd like your spooky a little bit early. Patrons and members on the $5 tier get their videos 12 hours early. That's in the morning as opposed to in the evening. Patrons at the $10 level also get a signed copy of my book anytime I write one. Speaking of my patrons, you should see them appearing right now. Just wanted to take a minute to say how much I appreciate all of you. Patrons, subscribers, however you give to the channel. I really appreciate everything you do, and it truly touches me that you have chosen to support the channel in this way. Well, that's enough for now. Till next time, Dr. Plague, signing off. Have a wonderful evening.